Welcome back to another edition of Game Day Goons, NBA season team previews. I'm your host, Exclusive, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's get right into it. First, let's talk about some of the players that came in and some of the players that went out. We all know going out was Dylan Brooks, fan favorite, Josh Christopher, Tyus Jones, and Isaiah Todd. And players that they brought in was tough as nails Marcus Smart and point guard veteran Derrick Rose. Now, this team has a over and under of 44.5 wins. Last year, Memphis finished 51-31, which was good enough for second place in the Western Conference. But we all know Ja Morant will be out for 25 games for acting like Yosemite Sam. He won't be able to play until right before Christmas break. And also, they just had Steven Adams go down with season-ending surgery. They do have enough pieces to still carve out a respectable amount of wins until Ja comes back. But I'm probably going to stay away from this over and under just because I don't know how they'll mesh. And then when Ja comes back, and then now that Steven Adams is gone, I think Memphis does have enough talent to do the things. But I think they also have a lot of soul searching to go through before they make everything click together. Another one of their role players went down in practice right before the season started. I think he rolled his ankles, and that's Aladama. He was very good for them last year. He filled in when Jaren Jackson Jr. was out, and he came into the preseason this year poised to have a good year because he put up some great numbers in the preseason. But I guess the practice right before the season, he must have tweaked something, so we probably won't see him for maybe a week or two. But that should not do that much damage to their depth. Let's get into some of their fantasy relevant players. Number one on their list is JJJ, Jaren Jackson Jr. This guy has an ADP of 24.3 and is a block specialist. Last year, he averaged a staggering 3 blocks a game, which was enough to be the best in the association. JJJ is definitely a player that can win you blocks on a weekly basis. Next, I want to talk about the short arm sniper, Desmond Bane. He has an ADP of 24.4, and he finished with averages of 21.5 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. I'm expecting him to step up really big in Ja's absence. And honestly, he's still going to probably improve when Ja gets back. You know what I mean? So I like Desmond Bane taking the next step. And he's a guy that you should definitely try and get in your second round. Well, if you haven't drafted already, which I'm pretty sure most of us have at this point. But he's definitely a good player, and I think he'll take some good steps this year. The next player let's talk about is Ja Morant. Like, why not? You know, usually he's their top stud on their team. But because of the 25 games, he has an ADP of about 100. And that's only due to the suspension. Because, you know, if he was suspended, he'd probably be a top 30, top 40 talent easily in this league. Last year, he averaged 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. Honestly, I took him in my redraft league, I think at 6. I had the first pick, so I was like, you know, I had to reach a bit, but I was okay with the reach because when he does come back, my team's just going to look that much more nasty. And I also did try to trade him for like a top 50 piece, but I think guys are skeptical because he's out for 25 games. But come on, take a risk. Like, you know what I mean? Your second half is going to be crazy if you have him. Anyways, I don't mind keeping him, and I probably will keep him, right? Memphis Grizzlies, their outlook for this year, I definitely think they're going to be relevant in the West again, even with the absence of Ja for 25 games. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to be a playoff team. I don't even have them in the play-in. I think they'll be one of the top 6 teams in the West just because they're a tough team. They're gritty. They play well together. And, you know, they're going to need guys to step up. Like, they drafted a guy, Zaire Williamson, a couple years back. And he was supposed to be a really good professional. But because Memphis is so stacked, he kind of got left out of the rotation. But this might be his year to step up, especially with the absence of Ja Morant, and with all of those guys going out, like Dylan Brooks and Tyus Jones. Now you have room for these guys to come in and they can make an impact for your team. So I'm looking for some big things from Zaire Williamson and Xavier Tillman. Last year when Steven Adams went down, Xavier Tillman stepped in and did really good in his space. And I feel like he's going to do that again. Well, he's going to have to. There's no Steven Adams for them. So he's going to have to be the muscle in the middle that they need. Other than that, I think this team is going to definitely be competitive come April. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the Western Conference Finals. Now, I'm not saying they're going to make it there. I think the West is just so stacked that there's going to be a bunch of teams that take each other out and there's nothing that they can do about it. And Memphis might have themselves, sitting pretty in the Western Conference Finals. Now, I do think that Denver is the team to beat, and any team that goes against Denver is probably going to lose. But that's yet to be seen. The season's just about to start. That's why we want to get these previews out to you guys. This is your Memphis Grizzlies one. I'm your host exclusive. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to check out our sponsors, Tenement. They're doing some crazy things, and I think they have a contest going on right now. So tap in. Game Day Goons. I'm out.